Well, True Sports episode 83 is actually on the air tonight. Due to undisclosed matters, I had to push my other show's upcoming episode to tomorrow at 10. Be- anyway, Saints and Steelers both win. Looks like Porter got away with pass interference. Oh man, no flags on the play. Should that have been pass interference, Lewis?
I think it should have been. I think they got away. I think they got away with something here.
Yeah,
Sometimes you can win ugly, and that was an ugly win.
yeah, yeah. It was a battle. It was a battle. It really
Yeah.
was. But for the game to end like that, I mean, really, kind of like
Yes.
getting away with a foul at the buzzer when up by two and you're on
Seen that
defense in,
happen.
in
Seen that
basketball.
happen before. Yep. Seen
Yeah,
that
like
happen before.
yeah, that happened to the Timberwolves. They were screwed.
Yes.
Yep. Saints. They played the Panthers, didn't they?
Correct.
Okay.
Also, good game.
Yep. All right. So yeah, the Panthers are the ones that have gone to 0-2. So with with that battle in mind, the Tigers and Dodgers are going at it live. But we'll go ahead and get your True Sports report out of the way. Go ahead.
All right. And for those of you just joining us, we'll take care of the NFL scores first. As we just saw, Steelers over the Browns 26-22. Watson had 235 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Ford had 106 rushing yards, 18 carries, and Pickens had 127 receiving yards and a touchdown. In the earlier game, the Saints over the Panthers 20-17. Carr had 228 passing yards and one interception. Hill had 75 rushing yards on 9 carries, and Olive had 88 receiving yards. That concludes week 3 of the NFL season. Now we'll go over to the diamond. It goes like this. All right, a lighter night for the most part on the schedule. There are still some games of progress, such as the Mariners are leading the Athletics 4-0. Oh, great. Uh, Two up or more, Haggerty and Calvero. I need the Mariners to lose. Thank you. In the top of the sixth, the Padres are leading the Rockies 11-4 with a run on first and one out. Hernandez is pitching and McMahon is at bat. Bottom of the fifth, the Dodgers are leading the Tigers 5-3. I hate this. Tigers are leading the Dodgers 5-3.
Dodgers lead the Tigers 5-3.
Tigers 5-3. One out. Winter is pitching and Freeman is at bat. All the rest are finals, beginning with the Royals over the Guardians 6-4. Cower got the win, Stefan got the loss, and MacArthur got the save. Reds over the Twins 7-3. Phillips got the win, Ryan got the loss. The Mets eked out a win over the Marlins 2-1. Bickford got the win, Scott got the loss, and Ontivero got the save. White Sox over the Nationals 6-1. Clevenger got the win, Aiden got the loss. Phillies over the Braves 7-1. Wheeler got the win, Wright got the loss. They have been outscored 23-3 in the last 2 games. That is the Braves. Wow. Cardinals over the Brewers 1-0. Wainwright got the win, Pachala got the loss, and Hensley got the save.
I was gonna say earlier, Jake Rogers for the Tigers hit a 3-run home run to make it 5-3 Dodgers.
Okay. Red Sox over Rangers 4-2. Oh my God. Red Sox over Rangers 4-2. Wisnowski got the win, Smith got the loss, and Martin got the save. And finally, Orioles over the Astros. Oh my God. Orioles over the Astros 8-7. Baum got the win, Presley got the loss, and Canino got the save. Okay, now over to the schedule. And it goes like this. Okay. So for tomorrow, we're getting down to the last 11, 12 games here. and it's really tightening up. So we begin with the Angels and the Rays at 6:40. Other 6:40 games are the Twins versus the Reds, and the Mets take on the Marlins. 7:05. The White Sox take on the Nationals. Other 7:05 games are the Blue Jays taking on the Yankees, and the White Sox and the 7:20 is the Phillies taking on the Braves. 7:40 is the Guardians taking on the Royals, and the Pirates taking on the Cubs. 7:45, the Brewers take on the Cardinals. 8:05, the Red Sox take on the Rangers. 8:10, the Orioles take on the Astros. A pair of 9:40 games as the Mariners will take on the A's, and the Giants will take on the D-backs. And also the Rockies will take on the Padres at 9:40. And 10:10, your Tigers take on the Dodgers. Once again. All right, so let's check the standings here. And it goes like this. Orioles are 94 and 56, have a 2.5 game lead over the Rays at 92 and 50. Blue Jays 83 and 67, 11 games back. Yankees, who did not play tonight, are 76 and 74, 18 back, and the Red Sox are 75 and 76, 19 and a half back. Boy, they have fallen apart. In the AL Comedy Central, the Twins are the only team in the division above 500 at 79-72. The 7-game lead with the Guardians at 72 and 79. Tigers are 8 back at 70 and 79. White Sox 56 and 93, 21 back, and the Royals 49, 102, 30 back. To the West, Astros 84 and 67 have a game and a half lead over the Rangers at 82 and 68. Mariners not far behind at 81 and 68, 2 back. As for the bottom of the barrel, the Angels are 68 and 82, 15 and a half back. And the A's, 46, 103, 37 back. Their season was over, I think, in mid-April. To the National League, the Braves, 96 and 54, have a 14-game lead with the Phillies at 82 and 68. Marlins are 70 and 73 at 18 and a half back. At 26 back are the Mets at 70 and 80, and the Nationals are 66 and 85, 30 and a half back, out of contention. To the Central, the Brewers are 84 and 66, have a 6-game lead over the Cubs at 78 and 72. Also 6 back are the Reds at 79 and 73. Pirates are 70 and 80, 14 back, and the Cardinals are 67 and 83, 17 back. And over the West, finally, Dodgers 91 and 57, 13 and a half over the Diamondbacks at 79 and 72. The Giants 76 and 74, 16 back. The Padres 20 back at 72 and 78, out of it pretty much. And the Rockies 56 and 93, 35 and a half back. Yeah. Okay, so now we got the news items of the day. And some of this you might find very interesting. Well, I'll explain. All right, first off, free agent guard / forward Kelly Oubre Jr. is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the Sixers, source told ESPN. Oubre could get a significant opportunity on the wing with the uncertainty around James Harden, who was requesting a trade from the Sixers. What else is new? Wants a trade every year. The Sixers lost Gorgas Neng, Jalen McDonald, and Skate Middleton in free agency, meaning that Oubre Jr. has a chance to walk off a lot of miles with a real significant scoring role off the bench. Now for the interesting story of the day. 6-time PGA Major champion Phil Mickelson says he's not wagering on any NFL games this season as he continues to recover from a gambling addiction. Mickelson's comments came on social media today. It comes a month after professional gambler Billy Walters alleged in a book that Mickelson has made bets totaling up to more than $1 billion on football, basketball, and hockey games over a 30-year period. Most of you will enjoy football in moderation, having lots of fun and entertainment, Mickelson wrote. The fantasy leagues will provide banter amongst friends, and money won or lost betting. I won't be betting in games this year because I went over my head and went into addiction, which is no fun at all. It affected those I care about in ways I was not fully aware of, Mickelson wrote. It's like a hurricane outside. I'm isolated in a shelter, unaware of what's going on. When I came out, there was so much damage to clean up. I just want to go back inside and not deal with it. In the book titled Gambler, The Secret of a Life from a Risk, Walters alleged that Mickelson made 858 bets of $220,000 and 1,115 bets from 2010 to 2014. Walters estimated that Mickelson lost 100 million while betting more than 1 billion over the last 3 decades. Walters also alleged that Mickelson attempted to make a 400,000 wager on Team USA in the 2012 Ryder Cup, which was competing on. Mickelson denied betting on the Ryder Cup, of course. According to the book, he met Mickelson in the 2006 AT&T Pro-Am tournament. They formed a betting partnership in 2008 that gave Walters access to offshore sportsbooks accounts that Mickelson used to place those huge wagers. Walters and Mickelson ended their partnership in 2014 when it was revealed federal authorities were looking into a series of stock trades that both made. They had a falling out after Mickelson refused to testify in an ensuing insider trading case against Walters in 2017. Walters was convicted on charges of conspiracy, wire and security fraud, and was sentenced to 5 years in a federal prison. Oh boy, the things people do. The Knicks have signed guard Ryan Archiendo on Friday. Contract terms were not discussed. The Knicks brought back the guard after playing a combined 29 games for the Knicks at the end of the 2021-22 season and the start of the 2022-23 season. The Knicks traded Archiendo to the Blazers in February in a deal. With the Knicks, Archiendo joins former Villanova teammates Jalen Brunson and Donnie Minzio, and they were part of the 2016 national championship team. Archiendo averaged 4.4 points per game, along with 2.0 assists, 1.9 rebounds, 40 starts in 237 games for the Bucks, Knicks, and Blazers. I didn't do so bad this week. Okay, good. All right, so moving on. Former Detroit Lions. First up, Detroit Lions linebacker Dave Montgomery, who did not finish yesterday's game against the Seahawks, was limping off the field and told reporters after the game that he injured his thigh and would take a couple weeks to heal. Other than that, no further comment was made. Montgomery was carted off to the locker room with his injury at the start of the fourth quarter, and they lost to the Seahawks in overtime. He rode the cart with his leg wrapped underneath an ice. It looked like a bruise to his thigh. That's the head coach Dan Campbell. More information was expected today. I haven't heard anything since, though. Montgomery had a strong game with 16 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown and a catch for 7 yards. Montgomery is in his first season with the Lions after signing as a free agent, rushed for 141 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first 2 games of the season. He looked to be injured 3 minutes into the third quarter after he was dragged to the ground by Seahawks linebacker Jordan Brooks after making the catch from quarterback Jared Goff. Moving right along. All right, the New York Giants came back from 21 points down to beat the Cardinals yesterday on the Cardinals' home turf, no less. But the win came at a cost as they lost running back Saquon Barkley to an ankle injury. Barkley, who scored 2 touchdowns, 1 for rushing and 1 for receiving, went underwent MRI today to determine the severity of the injury. Source told ESPN. Barkley's ankle was swollen after the game, but the initial thinking, in the words of the source, it's just an ordinary sprain rather than a full ankle sprain. It is clear that Barkley was in pain as he took the cart to the X-ray room, limping off the field. X-rays were negative, according to the source. Head coach Brian Dabble said, "I don't know," when asked about the severity of the injury. Barkley declined to comment on the injury when it occurred when his ankle turned awkwardly at the bottom of a pile around the middle with just under a minute left in the fourth. The Giants, who have a short turnaround this week, are staying in Arizona before heading to San Francisco to face the 49ers on Thursday. After that, they'll have 11 days off and face the Seahawks in a Monday night game against Seattle. That's on October 2nd. Barkley is playing under the franchise tag and is expected to become a free agent at the end of this season. All right. Moving along here. Let's see if I can say. Okay, Twins shortstop Carlos Correa left tonight's loss against the Reds after just one inning after aggravating with his plantar fasciitis in his left foot. Correa, a two-time All-Star, had to go into shallow left field to catch a pop-up in the bottom of the first. Former Reds infielder Kyle Farmer went in to pitch hit for him with one out in the top of the second. Correa is a .272 hitter. He is at .230 this season with 18 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 60 runs. Over the weekend, Correa said he was dealing with pain from the injury that has lasted for about 4 months. That, according to the Star Tribune. Correa is in his second season with the Twins after spending the last 7 with the Astros, who drafted him in 2012. He was the AL Rookie of the Year in 2015 and finished 5th in MVP voting when he won his only Gold Glove Award. The Twins are now at 79 and 72 at the top of the AL Tragic Comedy Central, and their magic number is now cut down to 5. Notice I said AL Tragic Comedy Central because it's a tragic comedy in itself. Yeah. The Steelers placed wide receiver Dante Johnson on injury reserve today, and meaning he will miss the next 4 games, at least. The move was made hours ahead of the game against the Browns tonight. Johnson sustained the injury in last week's opener to the 49ers, which they lost. The injury occurred in the third quarter against the 49ers as Johnson tried to make a cut after he picked up the first down on a 26-yard gain. A source told ESPN that Johnson will be missing at least quite a few games. Now we know it's at least 4. The Tampa Bay Rays are expected to announce the completion of a new deal in St. Petersburg later today, according to the Tampa Bay Times. I say later today because it's now past midnight here on the East Coast. The construction of a 30,000-seat dome stadium, which is set to open in 2028 and will cost about $1.2 billion. And it figures to end speculation of the Rays relocating, which has been a rumor for the last 5 years. The Rays' 30-year lease ends the Trop at the end of 2027, and the franchise was considering moving elsewhere, as the attendance is still one of the worst in the major leagues, despite the fact they have now made the playoffs 5 years in a row. Go figure. Rays owner Stuart Sternberg told the Tampa Bay Times that the organization is expected to pay at least half of the costs of the stadium. The remainder of the cost will be contributed by the city of St. Petersburg and Pinellas County. The new stadium will be a part of a massive redevelopment of St. Petersburg 86-acre plant district, a project that includes affordable housing, affordable space, and rental. It was what was once a thriving black neighborhood. So, as I mentioned, the Giants. Okay, we got that one down. Two-time Cy Young winner Corey Kluber will not pitch again this season for the Red Sox. The right-hander has not pitched for the Red Sox since June 20th with right shoulder inflammation. He was scheduled to get a third rehab start for AAA Worcester last Saturday. Instead, manager Alex Cora said that Kluber will continue his rehab at home. He started for Worcester on September The second gave up 2 hits and struck out 2 in 2 1/3 scoreless innings. With the Red Sox, Kluber was 3-6 with an ERA of 7.04 in 15 games, including 9 starts. He signed a 1-year deal worth $10 million with the Red Sox in January that included an $11 million option for next season. He went 5-3 with a 3.83 ERA and 16 starts for the Yankees in 2021, including a no-hitter victory over the Rangers. He pitched for the Rangers last season, going 10-10 with a 4.34 ERA and 31 starts. Kluber, a 3-time All-Star, won his first Cy Young Award with the Indians in 2014 by going 18-9 with an ERA of 2.44. Then won again in 2017 by going 18-4 with an ERA of only 2.55. In 13 seasons, Kluber has a 116-77 record with a 3.44 ERA in 207 games and all but 11 as a starter. Not bad. Okay. Ooh, scary story here as Bowling Green linebacker Demetrius Green Hardeman is in stable condition and is cleared to walk a day after an orthopedic injury led him being placed on a backboard and placed on a stretcher and carved the field at Michigan Field on Saturday. The school provided an update on Sunday saying that Hardman will soon be released from the hospital. He was injured while tackling tight end Colton Loveland in Saturday's win over Bowling Green. Hammond had 3 tackles against Michigan and had at least 25 tackles in the past 2 seasons and has earned academic honors from the Mid-American Conference, not once, but twice. Well, I can't go wrong with that. Denver Broncos safety Kareem Jackson, who was fined for a hit in last week's opening loss to the Raiders, was ejected from Sunday's game as they lost to the Commanders. With under 2 minutes left in the first half, Commanders quarterback Sam Howell threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to tight end Logan Thomas. As Thomas caught the ball, Jackson left his feet to collide with Thomas on helmet to helmet. Oh boy. Jackson was flagged for unnecessary roughness on the play and was ejected from the game. Thomas remained down on the field for several minutes before being helped to the sideline by the Commanders' training staff. Thomas was being evaluated for a concussion as the first half was drawing to a close. He was officially ruled out at halftime as the Commanders came back trailing from 21-3 to improve to a 2-0 record. Jackson was fined over $14,800 this past week on a hit on Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers in the fourth quarter in their opening loss to the Raiders. Now, in his 14th season, the safety has been one of the Broncos' starters. After the loss, a source on ESPN, the NFL will review and discuss whether Jackson should be disciplined for the hit on Thomas. Bartolo Colon wanted to say farewell to the majors with the Mets, and of course, his home run was going to be celebrated. 4 months since turning 50 and 5 years since his last big league pitch, Colon was honored by the Mets and announced his retirement after 21 years in the majors. My first home run was with Cleveland, said Colton's word translator during a pregame news conference, but I'm here with the Mets, and this is where I feel comfortable. Colon finished with a record of 247, 188 with a 4.12 ERA, 2,535 strikeouts with 3,461 innings pitched. A 4-time All-Star, Colon first entered the majors in 1997 with then known as the Indians and won the AL Cy Young Award in 2005 as a member of the Angels. He pitched for 11 different teams, but he's also remembered for hitting his first home run against the Padres in May of 2006, and just 2 weeks short of his 43rd birthday was the oldest player to hit his first home run. He finished with 1 home run with 11 RBIs and 199 at-bats. Cologne threw out the first pitch at a Mets game back in May to former teammate Brandon Nimmo. Colin pitched for the Mets from 2014 to 2016, earning his final All-Star selection. Manager Terry Collins presented Cologne with his number 40 jersey at a news conference attended by 20 of his family members and friends. Nice way to go out. The Marlins activated slugger Jorge Soler from the 10-day injured list on Sunday and was put in the DH spot against the Braves, who just ripped them apart 16-2. Soler was placed on the injured list on September 5th with an oblique strain after feeling discomfort when he took swings on September the 5th. He was 2 for 3 with a walk and a home run. In a corresponding move, the Marlins optioned for rookie Dan Myers from AAA Jacksonville. There's more to come. This season, Soler had the best number of his career with 35 home runs and 71 RBIs with 466 at-bats in 126 games. Soler has been in the majors since 2014 and has been with the Cubs, Royals, Braves, and Marlins. This season, he's batting .241 with 17 home runs and 45 RBIs in 86 games. In other moves, the Marlins selected the contract of Chichi Gonzalez from Jacksonville and opted for right-hander Josh Simpson from their AAA counterpart. He received his first call up to the majors on September 12th, but has yet to appear in a game this season. And finally, the Cardinals placed outfielder Tyler O'Neill on the 10-day injured list due to a right foot sprain. O'Neill was limited to 72 games in his second season, which was loaded with injuries. He has 9 home runs and 21 RBIs this season. In 2021, O'Neill had a career season with 34 home runs and 80 RBIs in 138 games and a second Gold Glove. Overall, O'Neill has had 78 home runs with 217 RBIs and 477 games in 6 seasons with the Cardinals. St. Louis recalled outfielder Juan Yepez from AAA Memphis. Yepez has 2 RBIs, 2 home runs in 20 games for the Cardinals this season. Last season, he had 12 home runs and 30 RBIs in 76 games. All right, back to finish up the late scores for the for MLB. Right now, the Mariners are still in the A's 4-0, top of the ninth. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Mueller is pitching and Suarez is at bat. Padres are leading the Rockies 11-5 in the bottom of the 7th. Mears is pitching and Azocar is at bat. And finally, in the top of the 7th, the Dodgers are doubling up on the Tigers 6-3 with 1 out, nobody on. Ferguson is pitching and Ibanez is at bat. Okay, that'll take care of my notes. I'll take it back over to you, Taylor. He left. Good night, folks.
All right, so I apologize. I apologize for this. I bit hard to explain, but that wraps it up for True Sports episode 83. For Lewis, I'm Taylor. Ta ta.